Welcome to the second part of the training. In this session, we'll be performing a forensics analysis on the servers and workstations affected by the attack. We'll learn how to filter events to find all activity performed by the intruder and determine the extent of the attack. Then, we'll be creating interactive dashboards and visualizations to help us visualize Office 365 activity by user.
Hi, Ricardo here. Welcome to part 2 of this training session. So the Log Explorer is the place you want to go to filter down your logs, events, and also do forensics analysis. On the screen, you are seeing some of the functionalities available in this tool. You can first select between multiple data sources, open different tabs, adjust the time for your filter, refresh your data, save your queries, export to CSV. So for this exercise, let's select the Windows event logs that we received from the server and workstation that were compromised as part of the session number 1. So first, let's filter down, let's find the host name. So if we click here on the host name field, it will give us two options: the domain controller at the Active Directory server we were working with, and the Windows 10 machine that was compromised. Let's click the Windows 10 machine, and we can specify a custom range here in time, but for the purpose of this demo, let's use the last 90 days. Of course, in a real scenario, you would want to adjust this time into the real range where the compromise happened. From the logs that appear, I'm able to add certain logs as columns, certain fields as columns, so that I can easily go through them and kind of have a better idea of what's going on. Okay, let's continue. And now that we have a host name, let's filter more and let's get all the activity for a specific username, the username that was compromised, whose name is Atlas Inside. So we're going to see what activities this specific user performed on this host. There are two ways to do it: one from the left section of the UI, or option 2 by clicking Add Filter, typing the field that we're using, which is basically username, and then selecting the name of the user we're looking for. So now we can see all the logs for activity performed by this user on this specific workstation. And this, guys, is how you filter by user and activity and device, I'm sorry. So let's make a few changes. Instead of exploring the activity of the compromised user on the workstation, let's see what this user did on the Active Directory server. For that, let's edit the first filter. Instead of using the workstation, let's put the name of the server. And well, since the name of the user on the Active Directory server was a different user, we also have to adjust that. And in this case, use the administrator account, which is the one that that was used during the authentication to create the new update service account in our previous exercise. So now we can see all the activity performed by the administrator user on the Active Directory server, and we can even get to the details where we can see when the use service account was created, and very specific logs that tell us all the actions that the malicious actor performed on that host. We can, of course, save this query as well for later use. So if we need it, we're able to come back easily. Just by, if we click on the queries bottom, we'll be able to see some of the saved queries. I click it and it will automatically open that query for me. So this is the Log Explorer. There is a lot more functionalities, but this is a short summary to give you an idea and a taste for this feature, which is very useful, especially for forensics analysis. Let's now review the UTM Stack dashboard and visualization system. If we click one of the dashboards, we'll be able to see a few features associated with the visualizations. You can download them, you can apply filters of time, and you can save your dashboards as PDF. All visualizations are interactive. If I click something, it will take me to the data I'm clicking. So let's go back to our main visualization view and let's create a new dashboard here. Let's click New Dashboard. We can use some of the existing visualizations or we can create a new one. For this session, let's first get started by creating a region map. This dashboard is going to contain a list of successful and failed logon attempts into our Office 365. This first visualization is going to focus on successful logon attempts into Active Directory. So the first thing we're going to be doing here is filtering by the operation we want to focus on. In this case, is successful logon attempts. Then we are going to add a bucket to reflect the IPs that had been able to log in successfully. These IPs are going to be placed automatically in the regions of the map where they correspond to. Let's now click Save Visualization and get it into our dashboard. Now let's place the visualization in the dashboard. And at this point, we can either save the dashboard or add a new visualization. So for now, let's create a new visualization, but this time we're going to list the logon failures and the count of logon failures per user. So let's create a new visualization of type table. And this time I'm going to define the log source as Office 365. First step is to, as always, filter by the fields of interest. In this case is Office 365 results status. And of course, we want to filter based on the fail operation. The purpose of this visualization is to reflect failed logon attempts and identify possible brute force attacks or password guessing attacks. Let's change the size to 10 so we get a higher amount of users without having to move to the next page, and give it the username custom label. There are a few options associated with visualizations, but for this training session, let's just go with the default settings. Now save the visualization. Let's give it a name that reflects its purpose and get it into our dashboard. We'll adjust it a little bit to fit our dashboard, and well, it's time to save it. We can also add filters. These global filters apply to all the data being reflected into the visualization. This is a very useful tool for multi-tenant environments. Let's give our dashboard a name. The auto refresh setting determines how often the dashboard is going to look for newer data and update itself. Then we can also add this dashboard to the menu and assign specific roles to be able to see it. If we check the menu, we'll be able to see the dashboard that was just created. Of course, all elements are interactive, so if I click something, it will take me directly to the data that I'm clicking. Thank you for taking the time to explore UTM Stack with us today. If you would like to learn more, you can find more information in our documents site. We'll now jump into the last part of this training and learn how to install UTM Stack on a test environment, which could be done in one of your virtual machines and your servers, or even in your local workstation using VirtualBox. Thank you.